And we are live. Hello,
Live.
Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and all you other beautiful people out there.
Hello.
I am Maggiore Soap, and right next to me here I have
Spartan Leah.
Miss Jamison herself. Today we've got two awesome guest stars, or guest speakers, or guest rock stars, or whatever we're going to call them. Let's go ahead and have them introduce themselves.
What's up, guys? This is Dave, and I am from Airsoft Obsessed. You probably don't recognize the big sweaty Russian, although you've probably seen some of my photos out there. I seem to take quite a few of those. Rob. Where's the producer out here?
Yeah, where's our cut here?
There's your cat. Rob, tell us about yourself.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Robo. Yeah, they already kind of introduced me, Rob or Robo Murray. I run Robo Apparel. I play for the Airsoft operators up here in Canada, and I pretty much love the crap out of Airsoft. That's what I'm all about.
And
so
we are live. Hello, Facebook, YouTube. Oh, hey, dude. Amateur move, man. You gotta mute that.
yeah, I know. Sorry, I kicked my computer.
You can call out, by the way. It's okay. It's all right. I love the way you say sorry and about, so it's all good.
I'll try to embellish it more for you, bud.
Oh, it's 2 in the morning. There's people watching. I want to give a shout out to all the people that are watching, like, live across the ocean. I know that Robin's here.
Yep.
We have
Matt Green.
Matt Green
for 2 in the morning. So if it's 2 in the morning, what time would that be for him? Or where would he be, right? Because it's 7 o'clock here.
No.
It's still sunny out. It's beautiful.
We also have Drifter from Greece that's watching.
The Drifter. The man.
So,
all right.
thanks for staying up late, guys. That's
Or maybe they just came from the club and they've been partying all night. It's like, hey, time to watch some Airsoft before we pass out. That's probably not the best. So Leah and I have made a commitment tonight to, sounds really bad, to drink less. Granted, it's still on an empty stomach. Don't do as I do, guys. Drink before you eat.
Wow.
Eat before you drink. That was surprisingly fast. All right. Well, we do have a good show planned for you guys tonight. Again, thanks for tuning in. Let's go ahead and just jump right into the topics that we've got going. First and foremost, we're going to discuss a very interesting topic, something that's a bit controversial. Unfortunately, it's not so much something within Airsoft that we have created for ourselves, but rather something that our wonderful legislators have done for us. And that's orange tips on our guns. Now, there's a lot of legal mumbo-jumbo about this, a lot of legal background. A couple people have sent me great private messages filling me in on all that. When I was, kind of doing all the SB 199 stuff, fighting that, I did a lot of research on it as well. And the hardest thing about orange tips is that the wording of the federal statute, of the federal law, is a little vague. Sorry, Leah's dog over here is just whining like it's pretty pathetic. So the wording is pretty vague, and the way that they have written the law essentially only requires us to have orange tips when we transport our guns. Once they're yours and once they're in your possession, an orange tip isn't required. So that could conceivably be like basically just kind of sticking a flash hider on your gun when you leave the field that's orange instead of running it when you're playing. I mean, Lord knows most of us don't have orange tips on our guns after we buy them and use them for a little while. So that being said, though, why don't we jump to Dave? Dave, what do you think about orange tips and their functionality, their use, in the game, outside of the game? Give us your 2 cents.
Well, for me, it's a little bit, it's a different situation because obviously I do a lot of product photography and I'm taking a lot of photos of things, and maybe it's just the Boy Scout in me, but I think that it's kind of my responsibility in a way that if I'm going to be taking photos and promoting and spreading it out there, that I need to kind of send a little bit of a good example for that. And honestly, it really doesn't even bother me that much. I mean, this one here's got an orange tip on it. My M27 still has an orange tip on it. I really don't find that it makes that big of a difference as far as like concealment and play and all that stuff. I'm not saying that I never take it off on custom builds I do, but I mean, I don't know. it's kind of one of those gray areas. Like here, we're all adults, but how many kids are playing the game? And what kind of example do we want to set for them? You know what I'm saying? And I mean, in this state especially, it's kind of hanging on by a thread with, the unfortunate things that happen, with kids and police and airsoft guns. That I don't know. I just think in this case, it's better to just kind of err on the side of safety, at least for me anyway.
Yeah. All right. It's funny you mentioned concealment, and we're going to get to our guns and gear later. But of course, for those of you who kind of see behind me, I'm known for painting my guns. Me and Krylon have a great reputation or a great relationship. But yeah, when it comes to concealment, well, I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on the field you play at. But I'll talk about that in a minute. Robo, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, so I mean, again, like Dave said, I'm going to have my own weird kind of take on this, I suppose. And only because we don't have those same laws in Canada. They've never existed. It's never been some sort of legislation we have to follow for identification purposes or anything otherwise. So from my perspective, I guess my view of the orange tip issue is, I guess I've never really understood it. I mean, I don't have anything against it. I agree with Dave. I don't think it really has a big monumental, game-changing kind of effect on things like concealing yourself within the fundamentals of camouflage and all that. Not for our purposes, anyways. Like we're not lying on the ground underneath a ghillie for 3 days straight, kind of thing, where the smallest like shimmer or orange paint can like completely ruin our day.
Speak for yourself, man. I lay at the field for like.
Yeah, that's the thing you don't know about Soap is that like he literally lies. Like he goes to an event like 4 days early and just like sleeps in like the field beside it, just watching everybody. It's weird, but whatever.
Dude, I am still at Fort Ord right now. I've been there for like 3 weeks. We're filming this from inside one of the houses there.
Right. Like just off camera, you see like you've got like your recce set up with like your binoculars and stuff.
Hey! Don't give away my secrets, man.
Hey, man, sorry. So like from my perspective, again, going back to my sort of ignorance to it or where I don't understand it is, we've seen time and time again where even with an orange tip, things are going to be a problem anyways. But I also agree with Dave in the sense that if we're gonna play the kind of like proactive game and set a good example, I mean, why not just leave them on so we don't have the problem? That's the last thing that we kind of need in our industry right now is more arguments to be had, especially in California. Again, like Dave said, it's hanging by a thread in terms of public perception and some idiotic political moves and frankly from within our own groups. I mean, there's really bad apples out there sometimes, like that aren't helping the cause at all. So I would say, yeah, erring on the side of safety and erring on the side of just not dealing with extra BS that we don't need. I mean, totally fine in my books, and I think kids, yeah, should leave them on if that avoids a huge problem.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. That in theory, I think that the orange tips are a great idea in distinguishing. But at the same time, R.H. Nibbles brought up a good point, saying that a lot of times people still get shot with orange tips on them if they have it. Again, a lot of it I think too is gun safety. And I know that everyone, if you have a gun and you're underage, if you're under the age of 18, or even if you're not and this is your first gun and you've never been around guns before and you don't know what gun safety is and you don't have anyone there to teach you, I mean, not everyone is so blessed that they have a mom or a dad that will teach them all of these safety rules. And this kind of also ties into our newbie talk, is that sometimes you don't know what's wrong until you actually fail.
Right.
Also, right. As well. So I think there's a whole lot of stuff that goes along with that.
I mean, just kind of piggybacking on that, one of the things with orange tips, you look at the guns we have, the replica firearms we have, and this came up in the last one, I think. We don't call them toys, and there's a damn good reason for that. This does not look like a toy. It does not feel like a toy. It does not sound like a toy, right? It's a little scary, right? It's a little scary. And what that means, even if, now the orange tip rule requires that, or excuse me, rule. It's a law. The orange tip law, as written by in the federal statute, requires that the replica firearm be shipped with or BB device be shipped with an orange tip no less than 6 millimeters in length from the end of the muzzle. Now, for all of us that play airsoft, right, we all know that 6 millimeters is about, not that big. Not that big. Yeah, so that, not much.
That's what she said.
Well played. Well played. So, if you have an orange tip on the end of this thing, and it's only 6 millimeters, maybe, half an inch in length, and you're running around in public with it, or the police officer happens to roll up, the best thing you can do, instead of being like, no, look, it's orange, no, just
drop it.
Drop the damn thing. Let go of it. You're already going to be in some trouble. These look like guns, and people have been shot for less. I was, because of my gear whore nature, I was looking at, I know, right? I was looking at some articles about nods recently, night vision goggles and such. And one of the articles was talking about the differences between different tubes and, the clarity and such. And one of the things that they mentioned is they used an example, and they used actually a photo shot through the nods, and it was a picture of a guy standing in a dark area. In one photo, he's holding his cell phone. In the other photo, he's holding a gun. And they talked about the differences in clarity in the optic, in the optical tubes for these night vision goggles. But the point is, for police officers, if you pull out a phone in the middle of a traffic stop, they're going to freak out. If you pull out a gun in the middle of a traffic stop, they're going to freak out. If you pull out a beer bottle, if you pull out I don't know, pick something quickly, think of something, a piece of wood, or you might have seen the video. There was an older gentleman who pulled.
Or if you reach for anything,
you reach for anything.
You don't have to pull anything out. Just if you reach.
Right. If you reach without telling them you're going to reach for something, it's going to go sideways really fast. And,
right.
While I do understand the purpose of an orange tip during transport and for shipping a gun, I think it's a wise idea. It makes it clear that whatever is being shipped or transported is in fact a toy and not a real firearm. Once we're at the field, I'm assuming, assuming it's a bad idea, but I'm hoping that those of us who are watching this show are wise enough to know the difference and know how to properly transport their airsoft replicas. And you're not going to whip it out in the middle of, I don't know, a crowded gym or something. Just I don't see the point of an orange tip once you have it in your possession and when you're not shipping it somewhere. But that's just me. Guys?
Well, I guess, hey, Dave, unless you got something ahead of me, I'm just going to jump in and say this one thing. And I guess I agree with you on that point there, Soap. I mean, again, as a proactive device, I see it makes complete sense. I think this should be left on, again, for easy identification. But where my breakdown in logic, where I just don't get them to a degree as a solution, as a big sweeping solution to the problem of misidentifying a toy for a real gun and having some kid shot. I mean, at the point at which you could recognize, a police officer or whatever will recognize the orange tip, I mean, whoever's holding that weapon has already gotten themselves into a situation they shouldn't have gotten themselves into. So, I mean, it extends much past just having a gun with an orange tip on it. I mean, it's about educating yourself how to responsibly own that weapon, even if it has an orange tip, right? So again, going back to what you said, Soap, I mean, it's about knowing how to transport the weapon responsibly. It's about knowing when to brandish it and when definitely not to, and that's a 10%, 90% scenario. I mean, there's only 10% of places that you'll ever experience in the world where you're allowed to bring out an airsoft gun. So that's the amount of time you should be brandishing it, right? So, yeah, I don't understand it as a law or from a bureaucratic standpoint how that completely eliminates any sort of wide sweeping safety problems, other than a cop seeing at the last second it's an orange tip and decides not to pull the trigger. But again, as a proactive device, I think it should still be in place. So,
Dave?
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, and I agree with it. But I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of the point of like, what does it hurt at this point? Cops are not told, hey, look for an orange tip, or is that gun painted brightly red or brightly pink? I get that, and you're right. People do get shot for for cell phones or beer bottles or whatever the hell they're pulling out. But you know, I certainly think that it helps identify. Like if I walk into a Dick's Sporting Goods and I'm heading to the back, you know, okay, orange tips are airsoft, non-orange tips are real steel. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the video. My real steel, you know, it's got a pretty sweet paint job on it. That when I brought it home, my wife actually thought it was another airsoft gun. So I mean, I don't know. The confusion's out there. I can see both sides of the coin, but for me, it's just not really like a deal breaker at all. I mean, if it's there, great. If not, whatever. It just kind of cuts down on the double standard or the dual message there. Either they all have them or they all don't.
I think that's an important point to make there, Dave, too. I think the real point is there shouldn't be a big issue. I mean, there's a big issue in the airsoft industry, and that is, oh, you have an orange tip or you don't have an orange tip, and it's like we need to get to a place where it's like, who cares, right? Like, I mean, if you're somewhere and you have a gun with an orange tip, then no one's going to frown upon you for being the extra safe guy. You know what I mean? But we're not quite there yet. I think that's maybe an improvement.
Yeah. You know, and actually, that's a perfect segue. We've got a couple comments here. You know, Evolve Tactical says, here's the thing. At the federal level, orange tips are only required for retail activity. State laws, on the other hand, vary. True. California, he says he recalls, requires orange tips. I'd have to double check that, but I'm going to go with what he says for now. Whoops. But, you know, yeah, it's important that you follow all necessary and applicable local and state laws, and of course comply with federal, which are usually overruled by those state laws. And again, guys, we're talking about the United States. We know and we love the fact that a couple of you guys are from out of the country. It means a lot that you're watching, and of course, you know, we can't even begin to discuss your laws. We don't live there. We don't know. All I know is that in Portugal, you have to have a painted stock and, I believe, muzzle device or barrel or something. I don't know. Could be wrong. So. Yeah,
but also, just if you're around a cop, just drop it.
Drop it.
And then it won't be an issue.
Well, you shouldn't be around a cop in the first place.
Well, yeah, yes. Don't do shit that gets you in trouble, first of all. And then also, if you do, if you're holding something, just drop it.
Yeah.
Drop it.
Drop it.
Stop, drop, and roll.
And all the dogs are looking at us right now. Yeah. All right.
So it kind of segues in. I see some people that have commented about the kid that was holding the AK, walking down the street that got shot. Yeah, there's. I've heard a lot of intel about that, which I just won't share because it's that's a whole other.
We're done. Move on.
Yeah, that's a whole other can of worms. But I kind of want to just take that and segue into how you guys, being nice to newbies, basically, or helping them out.
Well, before we go on the newbies,
no,
we're both going to do this. This is all four of us agree. You know, guys, if you're going to play airsoft, okay, it's great. Grow the hobby, grow the sport, grow the spobby.
Spobby, yes.
Spobby.
Yeah.
Okay. But do so legally. Do so intelligently. I think all of us have seen that video of the kids playing at a field where the cops roll up and the kid leaves his camera on. Okay. Not even getting into that. You need to play at sanctioned fields. Play at places where it's illegal to play. Two reasons. One, the field's probably better. Okay. And two, you're not going to get rolled up on by cops. You're not breaking the law by playing in an unsanctioned area. So please, find your local fields, patronize your local fields, you know, go out there, play with friends in places that are sanctioned, that it's legal for you to do so, and that goes all across the world. For the love of God, we don't need any more tragedies or problems related to people playing in their front yard or, you know, in an abandoned building or whatever, okay? I know many of us have done it at some point in our airsoft, you know, career, but I hope that by, you know, those of us that are older, those of us that know better, spreading a message, you know, we get that out there and we tell people and we educate them and they start doing that as well, going to the fields that are sanctioned, going to the places that it's okay to play, and not putting themselves in a dangerous position.
Yeah, and going along with that, educating people, when you go about educating people, make sure that you're compassionate about how you do it. I've seen situations, and you guys know that I'm a noob. So I've been in situations where maybe I've done something dumb or I've seen someone else do something dumb and they immediately get yelled at and reprimanded in front of everyone.
That's just not okay.
That's not cool, man. Like, if you see someone doing something wrong, be cool about it. Like, just be like, oh, hey, come here, and talk to them kind of away, and don't make a big deal of it. Don't laugh at them. Don't make fun of them. because then they're not going to come back. They're not going to play. They're not going to have fun, and that sucks. You don't want that to happen at all. Like, be compassionate in how you present yourself, because a lot of people. There's a lot of really passionate people in this sport. A lot.
We're just a little bit passionate.
And be nice to new people that don't know what they're doing, because, like I said before, not everybody has someone in their lives that teaches them from day one, or from the minute that they get their gun, how to use it, or what they're doing, or what the rules are, and they may not know. So be cool, be nice to them about it, like help them out, and
I mean, we've all
don't be a dick. Really, that's my whole thing. Just don't be a dick.
There, we're done. We're done talking about new players. Don't be a dick, and it's easy, right? No.
Yeah.
No, we've all been at the field. We've all seen that kid who's like, "Hey, what's this? By the way, reach back, no mag. What's this? Okay. Don't be that guy that then goes and like, "Hey, what are you doing? Don't you know the 4 rules of firearm safety?"
Yeah.
Don't do that. All right. Anyway, we're done. All right, moving on. We're going to talk about how you treat new players. How do we treat new guys? What's the way to do it? What's the right way? What's the wrong way? Rob, take it away. Tell us about how they do it up in Canada.
How we do it in Canada. Well, I mean, tell you the truth, it's no different in Canada than anywhere else I've kind of seen, either externally or in personal experience. I mean, Airsoft is what it is right now. It's at a time when there's kind of a divide between the guys who have been in it for a while, or the minority in that group that are new but just know everything that they need to know, kind of thing, or naturally talented at it, or whatever you want to call it. And then there's a little bit of the mid-range, and then you get, a lot more people are jumping into it just because the trends going on in the industry, the popularity rising, stuff like that. So you're absolutely right. There's, we've all seen it on the field. Like, it's like this wedge that's driven between like the guys who are showing up for like the walk-ons for the day, or the guys that maybe been playing for like a month, kind of thing. And we can all recognize them. I mean, we were all there once. So I think that's why we can all recognize them, right? Like wearing track pants and like a sweater or something like that. Like we've all sort of been there at one point in time. And you're right. I mean, there's this kind of lack of wanting to reach out. I mean, how we do it in Canada, well, I'll speak in terms of how the crowds I roll with do it in Canada, or try to do it, and that is we are completely all about mentorship. I mean, it's the only thing that actually is the bridge in these two, between those two groups, obviously. And it takes realizing that, again, at one point in time, you were a really new player. You knew nothing about firearms. You knew nothing about tactics. You didn't know about all the fancy footwear or cry pants or whatever, right? Like, you knew nothing. And you just have to be able to put yourself back in that place to realize that some 16, 18-year-old kid who's really excited to try this new thing out. It's like Call of Duty, or it's like Battlefield, but it's real life, or I get to do what I look up to my uncle, who he does military stuff, or whatever the kid's situation is, and then goes to a field and gets totally like stonewalled by a bunch of really veteran dudes who are hot shit, high speed, low drag, and kicking open doors, use real flashbangs, whatever, right? I mean, that could destroy a kid's motivation from day one to even want to come back, like Leah said. And we try to do everything opposite of that. If we see a new kid, the only way that we're not going to be, and I'll preface this, I don't mean this in a negative way, but new players traditionally can annoy veteran players, and that causes that wall. So the only way to fix that, the only way to ensure that you're not annoyed consistently by the person you don't agree with their skill set, is to teach them your skill set, to guide them to becoming the player that you are, whatever at whatever skill level that day. And I mean, doing it any other way is just harming the sport.
Well, then why don't we make a shameless plug right here? And Rob, you do something pretty cool up there, actually. I believe you do a kind of training thing every now and again.
Yeah. So that's good. That's funny you bring that up. So my friend Derek Metcalf and I, he goes by Sticks. We had this kind of idea. We were approached by a local field here that wanted to do some sort of kind of IDPA, IPSEC kind of idea, competitive kind of event series, and we mishmashed that with our kind of take on it, which was more of a workshop. So it was combined both of those things, and offered a night of airsoft to shoot targets and learn technique at the same time. And our whole goal behind that was to raise the collective ability level of the players in our area. Not for our kudos. I mean, we did it completely voluntarily. The facility was given to us, and they took a small profit, obviously, because that's what just to pay for the time. It was to ensure, again, that next level of player either learned all the things that we had the benefit of knowing at the time, or even just players who were good but wanted to learn how to take their skill sets that next level, how to use their equipment to that next level and put it to use. So we ran that for a while, and we're actually reformatting it. We're going to make it instead of like a kind of like bi-monthly thing, we're going to do it less often, but for longer. Like probably offer like a day course and take it on the road. So we've had a lot of interest actually from multiple cities in where we are. So
awesome. Hey, I'm just saying, I've never been to Canada. I've got a passport that's valid for the rest of the year. If you're looking for a guest instructor, that'd be
anytime, man. Anytime. If you don't want to make your way up here, anytime.
And she's only got one stamp, so we need to get her to go other places.
Yeah. I've been other places. It's just when you fly in, they didn't stamp me when I went to any other countries because I was there on one trip.
They'd be like, hey, you know what? I want a stamp.
I'm driving across the border. Stamp my
Stamp it. All right. Anyway, Dave.
I love new players, not just because they're easier to kill than everybody else. No, but kind of like what Robo said, I like the new players, and the guys that I roll with, we like new players because it does give us a chance to kind of mold what our own community is going to look like. I mean, a lot of kids want to come out, and they really have no idea how the game is played or how to play it right. So when we have new people show up to the field, we always make a point to kind of, first off, we got to find out who they are without like putting them on blast or anything. Like, hey, we've never seen you before. You're the new guy. But we'll gently find a way to find out who the newer guys are. And usually what we'll do is we'll let them roll with us. I mean, the group that I've been playing with, heck, I've been playing since 2001, so I've been around a while, and I've seen a lot of good things, a lot of bad things, a lot of so-so things. So I just think that, having a group of veterans who are not going to be the type A alpha male, I'm going to crush the new guy who's wearing the, Adidas tracksuit or whatever.
Wait, that's a Somali pirate impression, isn't it?
Yeah. You just got the Thompson from Big Five or whatnot, and something else that I've, since I've been kind of blessed to, be in a nice spot with elite forces, I've got a ton of guns. So, when I go to the field, I show no less than 4 or 5 guns. I mean, there's been plenty of times I'm like, hey, dude, there you go knock yourself out, and like the looks on the kid's face, like, ooh, that's just like, that's almost more worth it than anything else is being able to do stuff like that. But no, if we don't foster the new guys, then, who are we going to have to shoot in the future? Nobody.
It's true. It's true.
Exactly.
But I like being an alpha male. I'm like the least alpha person out there. In fact, I got called out today by CJ on my I got called out on Facebook. He said I've lost my man card because I shaved the operator beard, Floperator beard, whatever.
You look so different.
Right?
I know I said that the last time, but you still look.
Well, it's funny because I had planned on coming up
so
to
different.
the Bay Area, and I was like, yeah, I'll go into Spartan and say hi to everybody. And I realized that if I did that, I'd walk in and be like, hey, what's up? Yeah, I go by Soap on Facebook. They'd be like, who the f is this guy?
Who are you?
Like this beardless, goofy-looking whatever.
Yeah, I actually thought that when I first met you. I was like, who are you? I don't.
Beardless, goofy. Thanks. No,
I didn't sign up for this. No.
Well, you're stuck with it now, so the Floperator Forum.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it so.
Let's make that clear.
In Facebook, man, I'll tell you. No, I agree with both of you guys. The most important. Let's go ahead and go back in time for a minute here to Soap's very first Airsoft game.
Yes, I did want to talk about our first games.
My very first game, as a new player, my very first game, I roll up to this thing. The only reason I knew it was even happening was because I was on the San Diego Airsoft forums, which, for those of you guys down in San Diego or Southern California, sdairsoft.com. Go check it out. Sign up for the forums. They do a lot of cool things down there. It's a great way to stay linked to the community. Now, I found out about the games going on by checking sdairsoft.com. And I posted up in the game profile. It was Team Therapist. Big love to those guys: Gibby, Mongo, Bear, Nix, Chippendale. Let's see, who am I forgetting? God, if I'm forgetting somebody, I'm sorry. I love you all. But they were hosting a game. Chippendale. He runs around shirtless. Dude, no, it's Ryan. He runs around shirtless. He's in good shape. He's in real good shape.
But
Yeah.
Does he wear a bow tie?
He does actually. It's the Navy work uniform, the blue camo. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. I love it.
Interesting.
All right, I'll find a photo later. We'll post it
Yeah.
up. But so they're hosting a game, and I post up like, hey, I'm a new player. I want to come out to this. What can you tell me? And Gibby posts up on the forum, and he's like, hey, dude, like, come up. My name's Gibby. Come find me when you get there. I'll make sure that you meet everybody, and I'll introduce you to the community. And he did. I show up. I'm terrified. Okay, I've got my classic Army, MP5. Yeah, my AG. All right. I got some. Oh, actually, I had my 226 at that point. So
Exciting.
I had my 226. Yeah. All right. Cool. I've got this like totally mixed up camo. I have ACU pants, by the way. Right? Yeah. Or sorry, UCP for those of you that care. And I show up to this game. I don't know a single damn person there. I go down to the field. I get my guns chronoed. I walk up. Find Gibby somehow. I'm like, hey, dude, you said to say hi. And here I am. Like 3 years on now, and the community. When I left San Diego, they gave me the greatest goodbye I could have ever asked for. My very first game was one of these things where I'm just feeling super awkward. I'm like, oh, I don't know if people are gonna hate me. I don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you guys a photo. I'll post it up on my Facebook. I'm like sitting there mean mugging the camera, like. I look like I hate the world.
I look like an idiot.
I was just scared to death. I'm terrified. But so it turned. Gibby got me into it. He introduced me to everybody. He introduced me to his team, to the community. I had a great time. And obviously I kept coming back because somebody went out of their way to make sure that this new guy, who could have totally been overrun and scared off and yelled at and freaked out, to make sure that the new guy felt wanted and felt appreciated for showing up and felt like a part of a group, part of a community. And so, Gibby, I love you. Team Therapist, I love you. Thank you. San Diego, miss you guys. I miss all of you.
Shout out.
And it really meant a lot to have somebody who was a veteran player, who was really well known in the community, reach out and be like, hey, dude, you're new. I want you to meet these guys. Go out there, have fun. If you have any questions, any problems, come talk to me. And it sat with me, it stuck with me for so long now that every single game I go to, I make it an effort to every new kid I see, even a young kid, it doesn't mean new. Maybe it's a young guy, maybe it's an older guy, I don't know. But anyone I see that's looking at me, because trying not to sound like a douche, but I have a ridiculous amount of gear. I show up to a game and I look like, Team 6, what up, right? All right, and to the impressionists, I'm not, but whatever. Okay, I've got a ridiculous amount of gear, and
you gotta earn that.
It's intimidating, right? You see the guys out there all geared up and stuff.
Yeah, no, it's
kind of like.
It scared me when I first went. I was like, holy shit, these people take this seriously.
Right?
I am so out of place.
Yeah, I mean, I still feel that way. I'll go to a game and be like, shit, those guys look legit.
Yeah.
But as one of those guys, when I catch somebody looking at me, I make it a point to be like, hey, what's up, dude? Here. Or I'll go over to them and be like, hey, what's going on, man? You come here a lot? Yeah, cool, awesome, dude. Hey. What gun are you using? Awesome, man. That's great. Yeah, you get a lot of kills with it. Woo!
No, I do the same thing. No, but good job.
That's the thing. Is that as veteran players, as anyone that's played the game for more than 2 games, reach out there and make that effort to make people feel appreciated, to make people feel like part of the community. Let them know that what they're doing is cool. And if it's not cool, right? If you see somebody running around, they got their gun out, they're like, oh, finger on the trigger in the safe zone. It's unsafe. Finger on the trigger. Oh, let them know. Be like, hey, buddy, hey, do me a favor. Just take your finger off the trigger. Do this. Yeah, okay. Keep it off the trigger. It's just safer. Take your mag out. Whatever. Talk to them. Let them know. Be it positive, negative. Be compassionate. Just like Leah said. Be compassionate. Be kind.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. DBAD. We're gonna make that patch. Let's make that patch. Alex Batty, if you're watching, buddy, we're gonna make that patch, right?
DBAD. Don't be a dick.
All right.
Awesome.
Woo. Did we cover that one, gentlemen?
So, oh, sorry. Yes?
Maybe. Yeah. Okay, I think we're good.
Okay. Since it's the Floperator Forum and it has to be like a little off topic at times, I want to know, since I said that we were going to find out what Soap's favorite Disney princess is, we're going to find out Soap's and Dave's and Rob's. I know Dave has to have one.
Dave has to have one.
He has kids.
He has daughters.
So he has to have a favorite.
We're going to start with Dave. Dave, your favorite Disney princess. Go.
Oh, this is such a deep question. Yes, I do have 2 young daughters, 5 and 7, who are currently downstairs watching Frozen for about the 50th time. Not even kidding on that.
Let it go. Let it go.
Anyway. Somebody else has seen that I've seen. Okay.
Maybe. Maybe.
I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to judge. That's a great movie to fall asleep to, let me just say. Anyway, man, tough one, but you know what? I am a sucker for redheads. So with Disney princesses, that takes us down to 2, and it's not going to be everybody's most obvious choice of Ariel because, well, she's half fish, and I'm not even going to go with
Wait, hang on. Hang on. Okay, you got Ariel. Who's the other redhead princess?
Oh, I know. Can I answer?
Yes.
It's Fiona, right?
Sorry. It is Merida from Brave.
Oh, see, I haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen
Oh,
that.
You have young daughters. I'm thinking, to me, classic Disney, 80s, early 90s Disney.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to get creep or anything, but, you know, when we went to Disneyland last Christmas break and, you know, they have the people who play the princesses, and, of course, with 2 daughters, we're on princess hunt. You know, got the little autograph book, got to get all the autographs, and
with 2 sons, you'd be on princess hunt.
Merida's hot, and she's got a lot of hot red hair, and if you see the movie, she kicks a lot of ass, too. She's like a sharpshooter with her bow and arrow and stuff, so...
I love a girl that can manipulate a weapon. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
You know, red hair, she can shoot better than all the dudes. It's an easy choice for me.
Man, I wish I'd seen it now, because I would kind of pick her, but I can't. I haven't seen it.
Netflix.
Great. Rent it. Netflix it or whatever it is.
Okay.
Did right with you with the redheads, though. I've got a thing.
Kryptonite.
Yeah, I'm Irish. What can I say? I know, shocker for some of you, I'm not Italian, even though I speak it and, you know, live there.
You act like it? Yeah.
The hands and all that, you know, yeah. I want the ARX 160, by the way, you're going to have to pull that out later, Dave. But yeah, no, I'm Irish, not Italian. So anyway, Rob, your favorite Disney princess?
Oh man, I'm a little bit removed from this at this point in the game, but like I mean, my nieces were crazy for Disney movies. Obviously, back in the day, I've got really old nieces by comparison to my age. I'm the baby of the family kind of thing. But I gotta say, I mean, when the whole Frozen craze, I mean, I can identify with that like really, 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 really heavily because I mean, just this last Christmas, my stepbrother's kids, my nieces on that side. I mean, I think everything was Frozen, like everything. Like literally, I don't think I saw a toy that was anything else. I mean, one year it was Hot Girl, and now it's like Frozen across the board kind of thing. So I'm gonna have to go with actually. I mean, I can identify the most with Jasmine only because I've watched Aladdin so much when I was a kid. But I gotta go with Dave's choice just because same reason as Soap. I mean, if you're hot and you can run a gun or some sort of other survival tool, and you win some extra brownie points from Rob Murray. So yeah, I'm gonna side with Meredith on that one too.
So you still haven't seen Frozen, so I can't speak to that. I haven't seen it either. Sorry, not Frozen. Brave.
I haven't even seen Frozen. I just have that song drilled into my head because I think I heard it about 17.79 times on Christmas Day. So.
No.
Oh Lord.
Not even
like the song. But, damn.
But I'm an adult and I have a niece, but she's little. She's not even 1 yet. She's like a few months old. So I have not been around any of the kids stuff, so I don't know. But so I can go with favorite princess like from back in the day when I first started. It was first started.
First started, yeah.
Okay, it would be first started watching TV because I actually was not allowed to watch TV growing up, really, ever.
Well, me neither, so whatever.
Yeah, so...
By the way, you 90s kids, you have it really different than me.
So the princess that was always my favorite was definitely Jasmine because she had
a tiger.
Yeah, she had a tiger.
Do it, call it.
She had a tiger. How's that not awesome?
And now you've got this pit bull here.
Yeah.
Giant beastly pit bull and whatever pug thing.
She was a hottie and Aladdin was a badass. Like
Aladdin was a thief and a liar.
Well,
but Robin Williams is the genie.
I guess that kind of explains, yeah.
I might sing those songs on occasion.
Yeah.
Maybe. Can't remember the lyrics right now, but whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm attracted to weird people, and she was too, apparently. So
weird,
Bad people.
dysfunctional, socially unstable.
Yeah.
That's more like it.
I got all of
That's
those.
more like it. Okay. All right. Let's in the comments before I say anything.
Yeah, Jasmine, she's freaking hot too. So, okay, your turn. I'm gonna stop now.
For the record, these are all cartoon characters, so yeah.
Archer is a cartoon character, and I'm very attracted to him.
I actually have a friend named Sterling Archer.
Insanely attracted.
No, like
to
I
him.
legitimately have a friend named Sterling Archer. He looks nothing like Sterling Archer.
Apparently, Rob is Sterling Archer. He told me
I
that.
got a friend that just keeps. I mean, obviously with a whole lot more facial hair, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
If Archer were an operator.
Do you own a turtleneck, Rob?
Please tell me you own a tactical turtleneck.
Give me a second.
Yes! This is great. While he's doing that, favorite princess.
Okay. So this is a hard one because it's harder to pick a favorite Disney princess than it is to pick a favorite Disney movie. If I had to pick a favorite movie, it's Lion King, no question, end of discussion.
Yeah, you can't pick Nala.
So,
that'd be weird.
Well, yes and no.
Really
I mean, it depends on why I'm picking her. Am I attracted to the personality? Am I attracted to the physical human being? I am not a furry, so no.
Yeah, let's just keep it with humans, though.
Let's stick with humans. See, I don't even know the names of the princesses in Frozen, but that movie. Well, she also had a serious problem. I mean, who goes off and is like, can I, some dude comes up, okay, if some guy comes up to you and goes, can I ask you something crazy? Will you marry me? Would you respond like, can I say something even crazier? Yes? Like, no, you're fucking mental. No, you just met that night. I don't care what year this is. That's crazy.
Like, can
that's
I stab
crazy.
you?
Guys, if you ask a girl to marry you and you've known her for 6 hours and she says yes, run. Run the other way. Okay?
Yeah, that's a huge red flag. Like a huge red flag.
Oh my God, he's got a turtleneck on.
Oh, Rob.
Can I cue him up? I don't know how.
Nice.
Rob, talk.
I'm talking.
Yes, I love it.
Oh, that's great, Rob.
I aim to please.
Whoa, whoa. Some of that. Her gun's falling over. She's falling over. Lord.
It's actually how I shop for clothes. I go to the mall and I'm like, what are people going to randomly ask me to wear in a YouTube stream? I just buy that. I just totally buy that, you know?
Well, at some point tonight, you need to just, turn around when she's not listening. Leah. Leah!
Yeah, throw it to Lana.
What?
What?
All right. You're entering your zone of danger. Someone call Kenny Loggins because you're in the danger zone. Hey, comments. Did I dodge that one well enough? I think I did.
I think so. Oh, Craig's here now.
By the way, I never answered that question for anyone paying attention. So if you want to be able to answer questions without ever, I said Frozen, but I don't know their names, and I think they're crazy, so it's not my favorite. But if you ever want to be able to answer questions without actually answering questions, study international affairs. That was my degree. You're welcome.
What?
It's politics.
No, that was
politics.
That was a dumb segue.
It's not a dumb segue. I'm not segueing into anything. I'm making a general statement.
I don't think.
Comments. Matt is asking about some stuff. Matt, do I know Invisible Sight PEQ boxes? I'm sorry, I don't. My experience with PEC boxes extends to Pro and T, some cheapo element thing, empty battery boxes, which I don't recommend, and a G&P D-ball. Pro and T can't handle recoil, otherwise they're awesome. Empty battery boxes are great if you have a front wired AEG. Elements, I guess they kind of work. And G&P, way cool, but it doesn't recoil either. So, guys, gentlemen, anything?
I just use the empty ones for the battery boxes. I really haven't used anything else. I don't know. I guess I'm boring.
Nah, it's all right. You use AEG, so it makes sense. It's all good. It's all good. Rob?
Yeah, I'll take the really boring route too. I don't use a PEC box at all, to be honest. So empty, working, not on my gun. So I guess I don't really have an opinion. And yeah, because I don't use gas blowback, I mean recoil isn't going to be an issue anyways, even if I throw one on there. So no real good advice out of me. So I'm useless.
That's okay, because I've got this. Yeah. So for those of you wondering, this is a Pro and T PEC box. I'm not going to shine it directly at the camera because that wouldn't end well. But it's really bright, in case you can figure that out. Pretty cool though. It also has a light, which is not too bright, which is great when you're entering in dark areas. It also comes with a filter for the light. Great for when you're entering dark areas, so you don't blind yourself. Pet boxes, I really like them. I love lasers for CQB environments. You know, I mean, I use a T1 Micro replica, which is great. I have a Primary Arms replica, which is great. You know, both of them are great for quick target acquisition. Of course, they're not magnified, so if you're a couple thousand feet away and I want to observe your movements, it doesn't do a damn thing. But you know, PEC boxes and lasers are great when you're in a tight environment. You're running around with your gun in a low ready or a high ready position. You don't have your eyes down the optic, and you need to make a quick target acquisition. You know, if you hit that laser, you hit the pressure switch here, you turn it on, it's like bam, boom, boom, hit your target, and you move on. It's easier than, you know, trying to find your dot real fast. Even if you've trained a lot, it's still easier, in my humble opinion. So sorry, no answer for an invisible sight, but Pro-NT, you know, GNP, those are kind of cool. So, yeah. Leah's playing with some stuff here. Go ahead.
Yeah. I wanted, since the last show, called me out. Leah's playing with some stuff. Really?
It just clicked. I'm sorry. It wasn't what I meant. It just dawned on me.
It's present, actually.
Presents? Your dog's so excited. There's a dog here, by the way, guys. In case you keep wondering what I'm like petting down here, it's Leah's puppy.
That's my dog. That's Zoe.
Right here.
Look.
Yeah,
she doesn't care
at all.
She doesn't care at all.
So anyway.
Last show, well, while Soap was doing all of his work with SB199 was also at the same time that Maple Leaf came out with a bunch of new products for pistols.
They're pretty cool.
And we had some, and I was like, hey, dude, you're doing a lot of good work. I'd like to at least get you something for all the effort that you've been doing, because I knew a lot of people were following him. And then I never followed through because I don't know.
Because I was still in San Diego and I hadn't moved to San Francisco yet. She figured she'd bide her time and save the shipping cost.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. So last show he called me out for never following through. So I'm being a sweetheart and I'm giving Soap
phrasing.
I'm being
Archer reference. Sweetheart reference.
I'm being nice.
She's being honorable and sticking to her word.
Oh yes, that too. Anyway, so Maple Leaf pop-up tensioner.
Sweet. Thank you.
70 degree.
Look at that.
And a Maple Leaf IP.
These are all.
So a little upgrade.
Thank you so much. That's so generous, and thank God you're on my team tomorrow, because it's gonna suck to be on the other team.
Yeah, and for anyone watching, no, I will not give you free stuff, because
don't ask.
And don't ask, because I get those messages all the time, and I cannot do that. I actually paid for these. So, no, I cannot hook you up with free stuff, and I can't sell it to you because I am a wholesaler. So don't ask
Spartan
for it,
Imports,
or I'll be really mad at you.
Spartan Imports distributor. It's very sweet of you. Thank you again. Thank you so much. That's awesome. I apologize to everyone that's on the receiving end of my pistol now. I would have previously, but now especially. So, thank you. I'll do a review on this YouTube channel once they fix up and ready to go.
Yes.
And,
but thank you. No, but honestly, thank you for your work on SB199, because a lot of people didn't know what to make of it, how to read the bill, what was going on, and you did a really good job of giving really informative videos, explaining exactly what was going on, what people needed to do, and at a time when a lot of leaders in the industry were not stepping up, you did. So thank you.
Thank you. And I do it for the community and not for the freebies, but those are awesome too. So I can't complain. Thank you again. Let's look at comments here because I'm sure they're going to be interesting. Basically, he means to some cats. Team Farquad, King Farquad, I totally screwed with her dogs earlier tonight. Made them run around in circles. It was pretty awesome, actually.
By the way, Dave, GamePod's calling me out for not having an adult beverage.
Oh. Yeah. No. Well, you don't know. Craig doesn't know what's in your cup there.
In my drink.
Yeah. Purple drink.
Purple drink.
Sugar, water, purple. Right.
And alcohol.
I just love that Dave is drinking purple drink.
Purple drink. It probably actually is Kool-Aid. He's got 2 daughters. How many kids do you have, Dave? 2. Is that 2 for the web show?
2 girls.
2.
5 and 7.
Oh, wow, okay. Those are good ages. Those are tough ages.
Yes, they
So,
are.
then are you going to be the dad that when they turn, I don't know, dating age, which I hate to scare you, but what is that nowadays, like 12?
Yeah.
Something scary like that?
It's like
yeah, when I grew up, when I was growing up, and
I had boyfriends when I was like 9.
well, I had a girlfriend when I was in first grade, but it wasn't a real
I
girlfriend.
had a boyfriend.
You know?
He brought me like a present, and he was like, "Okay, I'm your girlfriend now."
I still remember her name, actually. What was
I
her
remember
first
my
name?
boyfriend's name.
Chelsea?
Mine was Brad.
Brad.
Yeah.
Okay, Brad. No, but nowadays it's scary, man. Like people, like it's not like the cute, like, oh, you have a boyfriend and girlfriend. You're 3 years old.
It's like they're naughty.
It's like I think we've all seen this meme, right? Girl, there's that meme floating around Facebook that's like 12-year-olds be like, I need a man. Like, bitch, no, you need to do your homework.
Yeah.
And seriously though, like,
you need to do your homework.
You need to do your homework. What?
Yeah.
You need a man. No, wait,
No.
Stop.
No.
It's just it's creepy. Anyway, Dave, have fun with that.
Yeah, trust me. I teach high school. I see this on a daily basis, and that is why this is going to go on my daughter's door.
You might want to make that grouping a little tighter. But yes, I will.
From 100 yards, handheld from 100 yards, but yeah.
I love it.
Let's go on her door.
Yeah.
That's
I'm gonna say you're a badass, Dave.
No, I just play one on TV. That's all.
So, speaking from a girl's perspective, I'm gonna go ahead and say, like, in a sense, I kind of feel sorry for him, but in another sense, they'll thank you later, because my older brother, I have a brother that's 1 year older than me, and he was super protective of me in college, like scary protective. Any dude that would talk to me, he would walk up and open his knife and put it in their man jewels and say, if you mess with my sister, I will cut them off.
Oh, good for your brother.
It was, it was a total game killer for me, for sure. But I also had really bad taste in men. So later, I hated it at the time, but later I was like, thank you, because I'm an idiot a lot of times. When you're in college, everybody is.
College. Time for experimentation.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's be honest. College doesn't mean like a certain level of overall intelligence. Maybe in one subject area that you're interested in, but like all college kids, I think on the other side of college life, which is partying and irresponsibility and all that fun stuff, I mean, we're all horrible. We don't make it at all.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Going back to the whole dad thing, the best story that I've got is a friend told it to me. I don't know how true it is, but you know what? I'm going to try this. A boy comes over to date his daughter, leans over and goes, look, bud, whatever you do to my daughter, I'm doing to you. You give her a hug goodnight, I'm giving you a hug goodnight.
Oh, my God.
I'm giving you a kiss goodnight. And he's like, you know where I'm going with this, so, yeah.
Well, I want to know.
It's actually pretty efficient.
Would he really follow through on that, though? I want to know if anybody would actually test the boundaries of that.
Well, I mean, I would, but it depends on the age. If we're talking now, yeah, totally see what it's meant. I'm gonna go get another beer. You guys talk.
That was great. Do you know what?
I'll probably be that dad that's literally just like, again, if and when I ever have kids, and if and when I ever have a daughter, because it'd be slightly weirder if it was my son, right? But I mean, just like standing on the front porch just in my underwear.
Yes.
Like just like with the hands on the hips like this, like don't say a word, just stand there. Like it's totally perfectly fine too. Like no mean mugs, no like shaking fists or knife or anything like that. Just hanging out.
I actually dated a guy whose dad would always stand around in his underwear, but it was like I would like go over, like we would hang out, and I would go to his house, his dad like standing there like doing this whole thing in his underwear. It was really weird.
As odd as that is, that pretty much guarantees you're dealing with one of the most laid-back dads on the face of the planet, who's like smart enough to realize that there are bigger things in life than caring about being really comfortable in your own home, right? So.
Yeah. Except for,
I'm going to be that dad that if I have a daughter, which no kids yet, but if I have a daughter and her boyfriend comes over, I'm going to be that guy sitting there cleaning, you know, like, all right. So, Bobby, how you doing, man? Nice to finally meet you. Oh, me? No, just, you know, just making sure everything's good to go. So what time are you bringing my daughter home? Oh, right, 9 p.m. Yeah, no, that's not going to work, Bobby. You're going to have to do better than that. Oh, you said 7. Now we're talking. All right, and your cell phone number, please? Yep, cell phone, great, okay. I'll be calling you.
I feel sorry for all you guys. As a girl that grew up with older brothers that got to do a lot more stuff than I got to, I kind of feel sorry for them. Just because that was always the excuse. Like, you're a girl, you'll know when you get older. You'll understand when you get older and you have kids.
And then it's kind of a weak excuse.
And it sucks. It's like, oh, so they can go do stuff, but I can't just because I'm a girl. And that sucks.
Wow, nipples, dude, dirty.
Yeah.
Dirty.
So anyways, I did see someone say that we hadn't had any Jameson yet, so no chugging this time. We do have to play Airsoft tomorrow.
I love how you have to make that disclaimer there, Leah.
Huh?
What was that?
I like how you had to actually make that disclaimer to Soap. Like, before I hand you the bottle, it's not all for you in one go, okay?
Well, yeah, because there's not. Well, okay.
That's one sip. There's a sip left.
There's not much left, but I do have a backup also.
Okay.
Lady Coke's prepared.
I've got my drinking shirt on again. Got my Tokyo Marui drinking shirt. So awesome.
I'm gonna take off this turtleneck because I'm kind of warm.
Rock.
I'm sorry for killing your dreams there, Leah.
Aw. Hey, Rob, when you come back, can you bust out a few pull-ups for her, though? She might like that.
Can I what? Oh, pull-ups for her?
Rock out a few pull-ups there.
I literally don't think there's any way I can do that on the internet without looking like a complete D-bag.
No, just call it Floperator training or some shit. I don't know.
Hey, guys, can we just give me a second? I just want to do a couple sets, man. Just want to do a couple sets. We'll get back to the conversation.
Bro, just get your pump on, bro. Just get your pump on. I mean, look, if Best can rock it out, you know, Matt Best can rock it out on his website, and we're gonna. By the way, shout out to Best. It's Milsom, bro. Come on. So.
Rob, you should definitely do some pull-ups.
Do I actually have to do pull-ups?
Yeah,
like actually do some pull-ups. Everyone wants to see it.
Let me convert it from temporary.
Oh yeah, convert it from your other badass form to something else.
So am I doing something special with this? Do I need a gun?
Yes.
Oh,
you know what you need?
yes.
Vest on. Put your vest on. You got a brand new vest today, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Oh, but see, if I put that on, then Soap will start crying. But I'll put it on anyway.
I will not. I won't try.
I'm gonna cover my face.
Don't do
Can't
that.
watch him.
You can't watch. There's nothing scary. Anyway.
No, I know there's nothing scary about it. I'm just saying. Hey, you need to wear the pink shemagh.
First, we're gonna watch Rob rock out some Pharaoh Concepts pull-ups.
Yes. This is really exciting.
I'm excited.
Can't believe we're waiting for me to do this. Like, you guys didn't even fill this space with some other actually good topic. We're just waiting for Rob Murray to show up a bunch of.
Yeah,
Nope, we're waiting for you.
If anyone has comments of other Airsoft related stuff they want us to talk about, I know we've kind of gone on a tangent, so you can.
There's some great. I hope you guys are following the comments. There's some great comments here. Let me just quote a few. Nipples, all chaps are assless. If they have an ass, they're just leather pants.
That's so true, though.
It is true. It is true. Let's see here. Bring up the fork.
Yes. Pull up. Oh, he's ready. He's ready.
Oh, Rob, you have to say something so it'll switch to you.
What? Oh, can you guys not see me? Can you guys see me now?
We're good.
Yeah, we good? All right. Let's do pull-ups, right?
Nice.
Leah, contain yourself.
I'm going to sit back here. Okay, stop.
Pull-ups? Can I stop being a D-bag?
You can stop.
Yeah,
You
you're
can
done.
stop.
You're done.
It's, let me just.
Yeah, I'm good.
Look what you've done. We've lost the host for a minute now.
I'm just going to drink some more Jameson and I'll be good.
That's probably not a good, whatever. All right. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Apparently I take shots like an Irishman.
The fork. We need to, yes.
There's the pork.
This is apparently like Filipino. I didn't realize that. I just found it in my friend's like attic.
It's what?
Apparently, this is like a Filipino traditional. I guess in the Philippines.
What do they do with it?
Did they make a salad out of a forest?
What's that? What was that?
Did they just make a salad out of the forest in the Philippines? I mean, what the hell?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'll get Lawrence from AEX in San Diego on the show and TJ, and I'll ask them.
Well, that's what like Tanaka was saying the same thing. He was like, "Man, that reminds me of the Philippines and all this sort of stuff." So it's like, I learned something this week brandishing this ridiculous version of a melee weapon. So.
Very good. Good time skills. Look, soap's wearing pink. Knew it was gonna happen. A little lower. Yeah.
And even more menacing, more intimidating.
No, you're just kind of if you got really close to the
We
camera.
gotta move the beer bottle. Get on my way.
Oh.
It's all in my way. We gotta. No one
oh my God, it's fine. Guys, Soap's kind of a princess.
I'm a bit of a prima donna.
And look how pretty he is. You are pretty. If you had a burqa on, it would,
Dave can't believe it. So wait. Okay, hang on. Where are we with our topics? Because pretty sure we're not in the... What I
Pretty sure the last topic was how much of a princess you are, Soap. So.
Real men hunt with
Thanks,
giant
buddy.
forks.
Real men hunt with giant forks. You got a new fan?
I asked if people wanted to actually talk about Airsoft, but apparently it's cool talking about like forks and pull-ups and whatever else, so that's cool.
Thanks, guys.
So Archer, let's talk about Archer and how much I actually watched some of it to get prepared for our show. Yeah, I watched Archer yesterday for like 2 hours.
That's 4 episodes. That's not that bad.
Yeah, but I get, you get sucked in.
You get sucked in. You get addicted. You get sucked in.
Oh, anyway. So, Rob, Dave,
Yo.
what do you guys want to talk about?
Well, that puts us on the spot.
I'll respond to a comment real fast. Nipples, not cool, bro. Not cool.
Yeah, Dave, talk about the Beretta, dude.
Oh wait, yes. Talk about your Beretta, and then we have a topic.
I just, with as much hate as I get on this Beretta, and everybody tell me how ugly it is, and I kind of admit that it looks like a Masada and a G36 had babies.
Ma è magnifique. That's not even a word. It's beautiful. It's I don't know. I think it's gorgeous. It's a Beretta. It's Italian style. I love it. Go on.
That's it. I mean, sometimes it's like everybody hates it so much that actually makes me like it even more. And I think I'm going to do the whole Italian kit. I mean, truth is, I'm too damn big to go buy all this Gear Horse stuff. I mean, if you don't know, I'm like 6'4" and 280 pounds. So like all the cool stuff that like Robo and the rest of those guys wear looks like a little like baby bib on me. It's just damn small. So that's why I'm not a gear whore. That's why I'm a gun guy. So no, but I jumped on eBay. I got the I don't even know how you pronounce it. That Italian camo that looks kind of cool, and I'm just gonna do it kind of like troll bait. Just because everybody hates it, I'm gonna like it.
Yeah, I think that's go with the more non-traditional stuff. It keeps it exciting. Not everyone has it, of course, because I'm someone that obviously likes to be unique. I have a freaking pink sling and pink ladders on my gun. So, oh, by the way, if anyone's wondering what gun I use, it's a Classic Army UAC. UCW. And I love it.
Look on that.
It's actually a little, I know I'm going to get a lot of comments on this, but it's actually a little bit big for me, a little too big. It's hard to jump through windows and doors and stuff, which I'm still learning how to to maneuver while I'm wearing a gun and also a giant gun and carrying a pistol and all of that. But I do, so pretty. It's just so pretty, especially with the pink on it. I like it.
You can love your gun, but don't love your gun.
I don't. Okay, I don't love my gun like that. We're good friends.
Oh. I, on the other hand, love my gun.
We were talking about loving your gun. Like in a naughty way, I think.
That's not going to fit. No. Oh, wait.
Oh, man. This is,
No, not there either.
It's getting so after dark so soon.
Definitely not there. Nope.
No. Okay, so, the next thing that we wanted to talk about was...
Wait. Beretta? Italia.
Boom. Yes.
Hell yeah. This, actually, since we're talking about it, was a gift to me from one of my dear friends in San Diego, from Lawrence at AEX. He got this from someone in the Italian military, I believe Italian Special Forces, could be wrong. It was a gift to him. He said he'll never use it, never be able to wear it, and he knew how much I would appreciate it. So, Maggiore soap with the Italian flag issued to the Italian military. So, thank you, Lawrence, for that. And I need a Beretta to properly rep this.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do. So we've gotten a few more comments. Someone was reminding us, Nipples was reminding us of our show tonight and what we're supposed to be talking about. Oh, hey, we're over time, but
we are way over time.
8 minutes. That's not way.
It's not way. Well, it's 8:10 on mine, so it seems like longer.
It's 808 kick drum. 808. Anyway, MEDs, gentlemen. MEDs.
Dave, do you want to take that one first, bud?
Sure. You know, again, I've been playing for a long time, and I've seen a lot of things kind of come through the works. You know, for a long time, standard MED was you can shoot people with an AEG up until like 10 feet, and then at 10 feet, you got to transition to pistol. And the problem with that is first off, most dudes don't know what 10 feet is. A lot of people think that 10 yards is 10 feet, and you know, because I mean, when you think about it, 10 feet is really close. I'm 6'4", so it's like me with my hand up and you know a couple of feet, and boom, there's 10 feet. I mean, it's really close. And then I noticed that a lot of fields like CQB City and some of the other fields have just transitioned to a no minimum engagement, but everything's under 400 FPS. And personally, I like that a lot more because I can't tell you how many times that, you know, I've either seen arguments or I've been in arguments where guys are like, oh, dude, you shot me too close, you know, this, that, and the other thing, where, you know, when it's like everything's under 400, I guess you want to call it big boy rules, just have at it. You know, it kind of cuts out that ambiguity or whatever that happens, the misunderstandings, and it's like, dude, you're there, I'm shooting you, it doesn't matter how close you are. So I'm actually becoming a much bigger fan of the zero engagement distance. But at the other side of the coin is, you know, we have all these really cool, sexy pistols, and you know, you kind of like have no reason to use them when you don't have an MED or you're forced to transition. So I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm definitely leaning towards the no MED though. I think it's a lot funner.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. You know, no MEDs, but I mean, I kind of agree with everything you said. You know, I mean, I like no MEDs. You know, it means I can get within. Well, I know how hard this shoots and what it's capable of, so I wouldn't get within probably 15, 20 feet of someone shooting with this, you know, and then I get to whip out this guy, and like, yeah, cool, you know. But there's one thing I like about MEDs, and team therapists in San Diego and most of the San Diego teams have this great rule where with pistols you have a 5-foot MED. And I don't know about you guys, but my 226 is capable of over 300 FPS, which at, you know, a foot kind of hurts a little bit.
Yeah. And
this is something I posed to the Bay Area community recently. And you know, when you've got an MED, one of the things I love doing in San Diego is I get to sneak up on someone and be like, ah, yeah, knife kill, right? Like, I get super excited about my opportunity to knife kill, and up here, there's not an opportunity to do that, and I asked why, and I've been given some good insurance. That's why she has insurance from the kitchen. Anyway, it makes sense. I understand why that's an issue, but I really like the ability to knife kill someone. I like the reasoning for pulling out a pistol. I like being able to use the rifle at a good range. It's a lot of fun. But MEDs, at ITS we play with a 0 MED, and when it's agreed on by everyone, when everybody understands that you're going to get shot from close range, okay, that's fine. We also play with a semi-auto only rule at ITS.
Oh, it's a good topic.
Yes, it is. And we can go on with this for about 20 minutes, but we're going to do this really quickly. I'm going to talk, you're going to talk, Rob's going to talk. But, when you're going to go with a 0 MED, I much prefer, and I think it's the intelligent decision, to go with a semi-auto only fire restriction. Because let's be real here. Even if you're at 35, 40, 50, 60, 70 feet, and some dude with a high rate of fire AEG or a Polar Star jumps out, whips off, let's say he's got 40 rounds a second. He rips off a half-second trigger pull, which is really hard to do. Okay, full auto, half-second trigger pull. That's still going to be 20 BBs. Okay, let's assume that the wind gets a hold of half of those. Okay, and half of those BBs go other directions, but half of them hit you. That's going to be 10 BBs that hit you. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if I get hit by 10 BBs and there are, let's say, 5 guys shooting me, I'm going to be a little upset.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'll be hella pissed.
Oh, goddamn.
Hella.
I knew you would do that. Okay? Hella is not a word. Stop using it.
It is. Hella is
if I get hit by 10 BBs, I'm going to be a little upset. So when it comes to MEDs, if we're going to talk about, low MEDs, we're going to talk about getting in close range. My preference, my ideal rule for that would be, go ahead, 0 feet. Screw it. Whatever. Shoot somebody from point blank. But do so on semi-auto only. That makes the game very different, in my opinion. That makes it a bit more of a skill game. You've got to kind of pick your shots. As a dude with a gas blowback, it's kind of important for me. But I mean, I can run against AGs, whatever. But if you're going to shoot from point blank range, semi-auto seems to be the appropriate choice for that. Because the last thing any of us want is getting hit with 20 BBs at less than a foot.
Yeah, I think that goes along with. Okay, so here's what I think about full auto.
Oh no, this is a whole different topic. Let's stick to MEDs.
Okay. So sticking with that then, if you hit someone with full auto that close, that also goes along with our whole conversation. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Really? I mean.
D-bad.
Yeah.
D-bad, guys. D-bad.
Like, if you're, I understand that you may come around the corner and you may be surprised and you may whatever. But still, at the same time, don't be a dick. I don't know. That's kind of my whole life theory on everything. Just don't be a dick, and you're good. So everyone, don't be a dick. And also, I'm not going to talk about full auto.
Rob?
I'm waiting.
Yeah, I'm actually, again, I'm not going to talk about the fire, the fire mode problem, but I will say I'm glad you did. So mention the whole semi-auto thing. I'll tell you right now, in Canada, I have not played at a place yet here in Canada at an event, either private or official through our Airsoft Canada forum, where full auto is even a go-to method of fire. I mean, there are people who play full auto, but I haven't experienced what I hear termed speedballing and from paintball or even the speed soft kind of things kind of popping up in the United States. We just don't have that problem issue or situation. We all basically play on semi-auto all the time. Now, in terms of MEDs specifically, because across the board, if you have an MED or you don't have an MED, the closer you are, semi is going to be your go-to, obviously, because you don't want to be a D-bed. But in terms of actual MEDs, I have to agree with all of you, or at least Soap and Dave, because you guys actually said it, and that is, I prefer, personally, no MEDs. and it's not because it allows me to stop thinking about, you know, that hesitant moment when I burst through a door and I have to nail somebody and I perceive them as too close. It's for more than that. I actually believe in MEDs, I believe in MEDs not being in place, sorry, because I think it teaches better fundamentals. Yes, I completely, you're right, Dave, it completely cuts out arguments, and I've seen, you know, that is a big part of having an MED in place, is that you see it all the time, arguments and stuff that slow down the pace of an event and inject stuff that just isn't in the spirit of the event. It's more based on just human bad reaction. But the other problem is this, and again, GamePod's been pointing it out, and I completely agree. There are only 2 insurance companies, and this is across North America, that do this type of event insurance, and they both require MEDs because, you know, it's a safety thing. You want to ensure some 16-year-old kid or 14-year-old kid on your field doesn't get popped in the neck from somebody who's like 6 inches away, or at least that's the idea. But in practice, in actual experience, the number of times greatly outweighs the number of times this doesn't happen. That is, you jump around a corner and you pull the MED. You see, Dave, we don't have that whole pull out the secondary thing. We just have, you have to replace the bullet with a shot, with a bang or whatever, right? And literally nine and a half times out of every 10, all that does is scare the absolute willies out of some kid, and he pulls the trigger on you from like 3 feet away. and that's because, again, there's no emphasis on teaching, okay, here's an automated reaction and here's a choice. And the 2 things are separate. You can have choices that happen very quickly to where they look like they're automatic, and you can have just the basic like human reaction of, holy crap, I'm about to get eaten by a tiger kind of thing, right? And you pull the trigger and you blast somebody in the neck from 6 inches away. So I would prefer a no MED just because it takes out some of the thinking game for a really good shooter, and it forces somebody who's learning to apply better fundamentals. And that is, okay, sights are up on somebody. I'm making the choice to pull the trigger. I'm not just reacting, right? Even if it happens fast, I'm still making that choice. And I think that it forces that a little bit more.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Or worse yet, not only are you not reacting, but you're not having that impulse fear of, you know, having your finger on the trigger when you shouldn't. Hello, rule number, I don't know, what is it, 3 or something? You know, have your finger on the trigger only when you're ready to shoot. Right. But yeah, no, it addresses a lot of problems that otherwise might be created. And that's one thing, you know, the last ITS I was at, I ran game control, which, you know, means that I get to sit there and I get to look at what people are doing, how they are playing, how they are engaging other players, instead of worrying about playing and engaging myself. And so that, you know, one of the benefits there is that I had an objective look at how different players would shoot each other and how they would react to being shot. And there's one corner at ITS, which those of you who have played there, you're all very much aware of it, and that's the corner at the end of the alley next to the gas station. And there more times than I can even begin to explain. You know, it's a corner. I'm going to go ahead and go this way, right? It's a corner like it's a T corner. Okay, it's an L corner. I don't know, L corner. Okay, and you'll have a bunch of guys stack up here, right here, ready to shoot. You'll have a bunch of guys stack up here, ready to shoot. And there's a building right here. For those of you that see my boutique photos, that's the boutique right here. Okay, and people will stack up and they'll shoot this way, but then these guys will all get hit and they'll have to fall back. And now you've got guys on either side of the corner. And what happens is eventually somebody will get the balls to stick their head around the corner one way or another, and they get blasted from a foot away or less. And you know, at ITS, it's understood. We make it clear at the beginning of the day: 0-foot MED. You're going to shoot people from point-blank range. You're also shooting semi, which means that people understand the consequences of their actions. And you know, there it works out pretty well. Not too many dudes get, you know, hotheads about it, like, oh, I'm a fucking operator, I'm gonna kill you. Like, no, people relax. They understand that's how it goes. But anyway, as game control, what it's presented is a unique opportunity to watch this and see how it develops in real time. And people are definitely more cautious. They're definitely more understanding of getting shot close up, and they're definitely more forgiving of being shot close up. You know, I watched a guy get shot from less than a foot away in the neck, and he kind of was like, "Oh God, my neck." And the guy that shot him was like, "Hey, dude, oh my God, you okay?" And he said, "No, it's cool. You know, that's the rules. I got it. It's cool." I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right, cool, very good." You know, so people understand. They understand how the rules are made, how the game is meant to be played. And I think what's important is that we make it clear how the game will be played before it's played. And that means, outlining MEDs. If it's 15 feet, like a team therapist game, which is wider than I can reach, but if it's 15 feet, you make it clear. 15 feet is this far. You demonstrate. If it's 5 feet, you make it clear. It's this far. You demonstrate. And clarity is, in my opinion, the most important thing when it comes to explaining the rules of a game, the rules of engagement, those kind of things right there.
Well, I'll chime in with one last statement, and I forgot to say it when I went on my tirade before. Not that it was an actual tirade, but I want to link up back to what Leah said, and that's her whole theme of not being a dick or soap your don't be a d-bag. We kind of collectively have one specific single statement that we make in our local community. That kind of at this point ranges across our entire province. We all kind of agree with the same terminology. We all, again, at the right events at least, all apply it, and it kind of covers all the general cases, and that is we're constantly striving not to take a shot we wouldn't be willing to take ourselves. And that's important to keep in mind. I mean, we've all taken a bad shot, and we all remember them. I mean, I don't think any of us will ever forget the really bad shots that we've taken.
Oh, God, yeah.
As well as, now in hindsight, not ever forgetting how that situation was set up. And, a lot of times accidentals, a lot of times it's an ignorant player or a downright D-bag player or whatever that makes those shots. But I mean, as long as the community itself, for the most part, tries to apply a logic that MED or not, if we are taking shots that we would be personally willing to take ourselves, then we're probably playing within a certain level of responsibility for our fellow players and the effectiveness of ourselves, right? Because I mean, there's that constant battle. How much do I got to shoot until someone calls their hits versus am I overshooting somebody because I'm a dick, right? Like, there's that balance. So I think if everybody kind of applies that, I hate saying common sense because there isn't such a thing, or at least not one we can assume is there in any situation. But as long as we kind of try our best to not take the shots that we would hate taking ourselves, I think most people come out happy on the other side.
Yeah, Rob, I gotta agree. I've said almost like the exact same thing at almost every game that I go to. When I'm part of the game administration, is like, hey guys, shoot other guys the way you would want to be shot. If you wouldn't want to get done dirty, then don't do somebody else dirty. But I mean, unfortunately, I myself have been lit up a lot of times trying to give the guys the benefit of the doubt, where you get a drop on somebody and like, all right, guys, surrender, and it's just turn around. Well, I didn't have to surrender because you guys thought surrenders weren't mandatory, and it's like, you guys who know me know that gets me on a rage where I've thrown a gun across a creek before.
Oh, goddamn.
Whoa.
The Russians got a temper.
Wow.
Let's be honest, Dave. Like
I want a photo or a video.
I want a video of this.
I want an actual
Why am I still wearing this
stamp
shirt?
on it.
Yeah, it happened, before kids when I was really into the whole weightlifting thing, and the testosterone level was probably a little bit higher than it should have been.
Drago, right?
Bro, do you even lift?
Drago!
And I took my classic Army 249 para and chucked it about 35 feet across a creek. Midway through the year, I was like, man, that's probably not a good idea. But, oh well. But yeah, I agree. You should always kind of treat other people the way you would want to get treated. I mean, I think that's kind of almost like the Airsoft golden rule, I think.
Yep. Yeah. And that's the other thing I wanted to comment on what you said there, Dave. It also, I mean, my teammates know this. Anybody in my community knows this. That I stick up for, the benefit of the community and all that fun stuff. So if I'm on a field with somebody that wants to argue semantics about safety and respect and responsible, like being a responsible shooter, there's the easiest way to get me to go from 0 to 10 in the most polite manner, and that's to start arguing with me about being safe on the field or respectful. I mean, there's no point. You know what I mean? Like, and again, it's exactly like what you said. I've had it 1,000 times too. You stick your head around the corner, you yell bang, the guy goes, and there's always that 2-3 second delay where it's not like you really scared the crap out of the guy. It's just like, I don't care, I'm gonna light you up, and it's like, what are we doing? Where do we want to start our relationship like that?
I feel you, man.
That's how I like to start relationships. Drunk with a bang.
Start war.
Oh, I just realized that. By the way, guys, not happening, not happening. I'm sitting on the couch. Oh God! All right. We're running. We are almost 30 minutes over. Let's go ahead and plug two things real fast here. I want to start by plugging Airsoft Obsessed. Dave, tell us about that, because I've met Tom. I have not yet met you in person. I would love to meet you. Let's go, shoot BBs at each other. Please, let me use that Beretta. Tell us about Airsoft Obsessed. How did it come about? How did you get started in it? What's up?
Okay, so the background to Airsoft Obsessed is I'm based in Fresno, California, and that's actually where Tom, he grew up. So we ended up on the same team, team that used to be referred to as Task Force 20. Anyway, we just hit it off. We were homies, we were teammates, we were buds, and he ended up moving down to Southern California for one reason or another. And I think that he kind of was just literally so obsessed with Airsoft that his wife is like, dude, really? Like, you're obsessed with that crap. And I think that's pretty much where Airsoft Obsessed started.
Jeez,
and
girlfriend left me because of that.
Yeah. So, Tom, he was doing his thing and got lucky and got, seen by the right people. He got hooked up with Pyramid Air, which kind of kicked off the whole Tominator thing. And, I was kind of doing my own thing back up here in Fresno. I've always kind of been into photography, and I was able to start meshing the two. And, I don't know. It was just one of those things where it just kind of seemed right. Like, I tried to do some things on my own, didn't really quite work out. And, one day he's like, dude, why don't we just tag team this stuff together? So, about a year and a half ago, right before SHOT Show, we teamed up and, we kind of did it. So now, I'm Northern California based, Tom's more Southern California based. We're just kind of trying to bring everybody the stuff of Airsoft, whether, from whatever perspective that we're able to do that in. I mean, Tom right now, he's a little MIA because of his real-world 9-to-5 job, He will be back soon as tax season is over. No, I mean, we have a blast doing it. We both work with Elite Force, so we've got a lot of their products. You see a lot of their products come through our page, along with some other cool companies like Voodoo Tactical and Blade Tech.
Been shot by some of their products. Thank you, Tom, by the way. Friendly Fire, bro. Way to go. Come on.
Well, that reminds me. Tom said something about you and him at Insight and a barrel falling off during a firefight.
I need to post that. But yeah, I had a barrel go literally flying across the floor because I drilled it out the wrong way. Me being the eternal modifier. I tried to modify a Mad Bull Daniel Defense barrel to work on my baby, right? I wanted to get the Betty. This is Betty, right, yeah, guys? Betty. Hello. Everyone say hello. I tried to modify Betty to have an AEG Mad Bull Daniel Defense barrel, and the Daniel Defense barrel has a specific way of mounting. It's got like the main hub, which attaches to the receiver, and a receiver hub, and then an extension. And the extension did not like the fact that I had drilled out a hole to fit the hop-up unit, and it stripped the screws, and so the extension kind of went flying when I booked it back to respawn. And Tom probably, I don't know if you got that on video. I definitely have it on video, and I will post it one day. But it was bad. It was embarrassing.
So
the gun kept shooting, and I got a few more kills with it. So,
it's all that matters, right? But anyway, yeah, we've got the Facebook page, we've got the website, airsoft-obsessed.com, and then both Tom and I are really active on Instagram, airsoft_obsessed_, and Dave for myself, or Tom for my partner. So that's what we do.
We love you guys. I was very, very honored and flattered that Tom was shooting pictures of me. Even if he did give me shit for having a WeTech rifle, which, by the way, Tom, if you're watching, bro, I mean, come on, Betty? Betty is pretty. I have since fixed her up with a steel WeTech barrel, but we're not getting into that. So, yeah, great times. Glad I got to play with him. Dave, I hope I get to run around and shoot at you or with you later. Hope sometime soon. It'll be a good time. So Rob, you have a clothing company that I understand, as far as I understand. I may have made an order this week.
Yeah, you did, and I won't tell anybody your real name, I promise.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Also, Rob, I want you to know that I've been looking at the Beard or GTFO shirt for like 3 days now, and I just can't decide which color to get. So I would appreciate if someone would tell me which color to get, because
pink.
We'll talk over the next.
I actually don't want pink. I'm kind of.
How was that a question?
Next couple of days, we'll figure out which one's right for you.
I've seriously been looking at it for 3 days. It's been a problem.
So guys, if you're watching, in the comments, Robo ROBO dash apparel APPAREL. Go to that website, roboapparel.com. Look at the Beard or GTFO
it's women's.
t-shirt.
It's women's combat.
Women's combat shirt. Okay, and decide what color Leah needs to get.
Yeah, tell me which
You
color.
post that up in the comments. Let her know what she needs to buy, and we're gonna go from there.
Yeah, I've been struggling. Yeah.
And actually, I'm gonna take a little sidetrack moment here, and show some bro love here. Dave, don't let this fill your head full of smoke or anything like that. I mean, I gotta say, in mentioning that you're really active on Instagram and such, guys, anybody watching this, if anybody, and I don't think you should have any, lack of knowledge of who Dave or Tom are, but when I first hit IG last year, Dave himself, Tom, they've spent more than what I think any one person generally does to some random kid or some random guy who's joining a sport to take time to mentor me and stuff like that. So definitely follow those guys. Been a source of information and inspiration for me. So, Dave, dude, I've never said, vocally to you, I've said it in Facebook chats and all that fun stuff, I get it. But, man, thanks, dude. Good dude to follow, excellent for the community. Yeah, the clothing thing is really just it's a little pet project. I'm not really, while I would love it to be, at some point in time, something I get to, live off of or whatever, it springboards me into allowing me to do even more airsoft stuff instead of that whole normal guy thing, which is fight your corporate job and want to play airsoft all the time. So for now, it's not really making me any money, but it's not costing me any money, and that's the important part. That's why I still do it. Is that there's something of value to me as an artist. That the idea that I've got people in Dubai, I've got people in Germany, I've got people in the UK, Ireland, all across the United States, Canada, wearing my shirts, and that's a cool idea. That you can think something in your head as a human, as an individual. These emergent thoughts come up. And if you have the right skills, what idea we're talking about, put that into reality and make somebody happy. I must sound like a weirdo, but I'm like this classic guy. I'm more of a classical person in the sense that I have great value in that. So, that's the whole purpose of the whole Robo apparel thing. And it's using my art to give honor and thanks and respect, as well as give, clothing that the fighting focused person can enjoy, whether that's Minimimum and Airsoft, whether that's being a law enforcement officer or military or whatever you do that you can identify with this shirt and go, cool, that's something that I can actually wear instead of stuff that's not related but comfortable clothes. So that's about the deal with me.
Dude, that was actually really awesome. That's a really good note to end on, actually.
I take compliments terribly, by the way, in person. So thank you.
That was touching. I know you're blushing right now.
Because you're on the internet.
I know. The people who are really close to me, I get it. I get the whole IG thing. I get people follow me, and it's funny. The people who are really close to me, they joke with me all the time. Like Robo, if people only knew that you were this gigantic, considerate teddy bear instead of this badass that everybody sees, right?
Right with you.
It's ironic.
Sterling Archer. All right. Well, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and close out on that, guys, because wow, we're way over time. We're gonna plug one more thing.
I do want to give one plug to in 2 weeks, April 5th. There's a bunch of us going to SS Airsoft for their really big 4-year anniversary event. So I definitely want to give a shout out to. I know I saw Milsim Junkies here. I saw.
Hey, he is.
Tim's here.
Dude.
Yeah, I also saw Greg Wong here, Spartan 117. He's here.
Greg, GW.
He's also going to be at the SS Airsoft event. There's going to be a lot of people there.
You know what? Let's go ahead and call out some of the people that I know have said they're coming, or at least are commenting here. We've got Greg Wong. We've got Milsim Junkie. obviously, we have Robo Murray and Airsoft Obsessed Dave. Spartan Leah.
Yeah.
I'm not important. We have, let's see, we've got GamePod.
Yes. We have Thumpy.
We've got Thumpy, buddy. Love you, thank you. Are you
Thumpy.
screen capping this again? Are you screen
He
capping this
did.
again?
He warned me that he was screen capping when I...
I don't have my light tonight. If you're wondering why my tack light isn't on here, which no one is, it's because I'm getting an awesome custom Kydex holster made for my Glock 17.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And you know, for I think we have.
Oh, dude, and Tim is here. From Crytac.
We have Crytac Tim here.
Awesome.
Chris Tim. Thank you, Tim. Big love.
Yeah.
Wait, Alan. We have Chris Allen on here as well.
So basically, all the cool kids are here.
Wow. Okay, you know what? Let me just throw this out here, Russ. This is a huge honor that as many people have joined as they have. To the two gentlemen joining us tonight, this is a huge honor that you're both on here. I mean, you know, this whole thing started out as me deciding to BS on the internet about Airsoft, and ta-da, it's turned into something, I don't know, kind of fun. A lot of people are following it. We currently have 26 viewers. Big love. It's not a huge number, but hey, you know what? I'll take it.
But it's all the best
40.
people.
It was 40.
Let me go ahead and draw the EDM part here. Yep, big love. Thank you guys all for tuning in. At this point, we're going to sign off with our names here. Guests, guys, why don't you go ahead and start us off, Dave?
Yep, Dave from Airsoft Obsessed. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate the support and you guys thinking that I'm, I guess, something special.
You're special. You're definitely special. Rob?
And I'm Robo, or Rob is simple enough too. I run Robo Apparel and play for the Airsoft operators up here in Canada. And much like Dave, I want to say thanks. I mean, I'm only. It's still a strange feeling for me to have any notoriety, but I'm only, I guess, what I am, if anything, based on the people that follow me and support me. So I appreciate it. I really do.
And we have.
And I am Leah, Spartan Leah.
Spartan Leah. Find her on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Same with the other gentlemen here.
Oh, right, yeah, I'm on all those things now. I forget.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah, I'm on all those things.
It's pretty awesome. I am Maggiore Soap. You guys can find me on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, both on this page and my team's page, DevTac. You can see the little logo, like, yeah, what's up? And in the coming weeks, we're going to have a fun announcement about DevTac expanding into Northern California. But for now, we're going to keep that kind of hush-hush. In the meantime, gentlemen, guys, ladies, everyone that's come and joined in on this, if you're watching, commenting, if you're not saying anything, if you're watching it later, thank you all for joining us. To my guests, to our guests tonight, thank you guys both for joining us. It's a huge honor to have you both on here. If you're interested in joining us for the Floperator Forum, go ahead and send an email to devtacairsoft, D-E-V-T-A-C, airsoft @gmail.com. We'll try and get you in. We're thinking next week, actually I'll plug this right now, next week on Friday we're going to have DevTac themselves, my boys from San Diego, and possibly some of the new Northern California Black team.
Who is that?
I don't know. We'll find out next week on Friday. Following that, we're going to go ahead and launch into some awesome airsoft related, some local airsofters from all over the country, get them talking about their local airsoft, their scene, what's going on there. And we're just going to kind of keep expanding this, guys. So thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, I want to give one more shout out to the people across the pond that are watching, because that's fucking awesome that we have people stay up until 3 a.m. to watch us.
3:30, like 3:40 now.
We had UK, Spain, I think
Greece.
we had France, and we had Greece also. So
we got one more, Rob.
Small shout out to Paul, or Rob as he goes by these days, from Team Gung Ho. I saw him pop in.
Oh, hey, did you poke him and wake him up?
I did. I totally did.
All right, Dave, any shout-outs?
Dude, just all kinds of love to all my level 10 teammates out there, and I don't know, probably a bunch of people I'm forgetting who will be pissed at me tomorrow. I don't know.
It happens. All right, guys. Well, hey, again, thank you so much.
Shout out everybody that we know. There we go. Everybody's got it.
Everybody. If we forgot you, we didn't forget you. You're right here. We love you.
We love it.
Yeah. We love you all.
A lot.
Hearts, eating hearts. Yay. Dance hearts. Yay. Hey, again, guys, thanks for joining us. We will be back on next week on Friday, 7 or 8 p.m. We're going to decide if we're going to push it back a little bit. Given that we have so many awesome European people, I think we're going to keep it at 7. So thank you again for joining us. If you have any ideas for topics, if you'd like to hear from us about specific things, please send an email or a message to either of us online. To the other two gentlemen joining us tonight, again, we have Robo Murray and Dave Bax from Airsoft Obsessed. Shoot us all an email. Thank you so much for joining us, and you guys are all rock stars. Flopperate on. We love you.
Flopperate.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Bye, guys.